Would you like to see the easiest way to do perfect nails with polygel on yourself with your non-dominant hand? Just use dual forms and keep watching. Hello, I'm Anastasia and it is time to do something to my right hand. So I decided to use this brand, Look Nail. This is Polygel, and since I am going to work with my left non-dominant hand, I thought that I will use the dual forms. But first let's take a look at the colors and choose which one I will be using. So this one is clear. They come in small jars, about 5 grams I believe. So clear is clear. Surprisingly, nothing special about it, but I personally prefer to have natural colors on my nails and to not have to cover them with something. So I think I'm going to choose this one. It's called Tender Rose. Ooh, and we have expiration date here, which is nice because we need to know if the product is not expired. Now open the jar, and this one is like light pink, I don't know, peachy pink, and wow, it is stretching. This part is actually pretty satisfying. This product looks a little grainy, so we will see if it's like that after it's cured. So I will apply it on the tip, and here's the quick tip on how to apply the swatches quickly. You simply take it from the spatula and apply it on the other side of the tip, and you can see the result and the color right away. So yeah, definitely using the right one on my nails. So I just took off the old product and took off the surface shine. Then I will apply dehydrator and non-acid primer. I usually use the gel non-acid primer and then a thin coat of the base coat, and one of my favorite base coats lately is definitely the Cuba one. Apply it very thin. You can leave a little margin near the cuticle and along the side walls, and then you need to cure it in LED for 30 seconds. Then it's optional, but I personally prefer to take off the sticky layer since I'm going to work with my other hand. And then we need to measure the size of the dual forms, and it's important to take a look from the side view as well. Usually the dual form should be a little bigger than the nail. Now let's apply it into the dual form. So I decided to make the soft square short to medium length. So I applied the product right into the dual form, and I know that you are going to ask me about this brush. So it looks like it's acrylic brush, but it's not. It's synthetic, and I bought it for like $1 in the Chinese market that we have here in Moscow. Surprisingly, it works pretty well, especially for thick consistency polygels. So the product should be thin near the cuticle, and then we're going to apply it onto the nail press and press it down a little bit, but not all the way. Take a look from the side. If everything is fine, then flash cure for 10 seconds, pinch, and then you can take off the form and set up the pinching tool and cure for remaining 1 minute. But this part is optional too. If you do not feel like pinching, you can simply skip this step. There's no sticky layer on top, we only have it underneath, so this is where you need to clean it. Make sure that you clean it really well, because if you won't, then your drill bit will get stuck really fast. Now we need to do a little filing, and I will file underneath. And if you have a question like what's wrong with my hand, why it's moving so weird, well, this is my left non-dominant hand and it does feel weird. But after this nail, actually I switched to the reverse mode, so the beads started rotating in the opposite direction and it was a bit easier. But still, this part is the most challenging for me when I'm working with my other hand. So the rule of application of the product with the brush, not with the file, is fair for dual forms too. So you see on this nail I don't have to file as much because I fixed it underneath with a brush, and on the previous nail I did not do it as well. So then I had to suffer and to file a lot, which is not the easiest thing to do, especially with the opposite hand. Now the goal is to file off all the excess product and to make the surface smooth. But make sure that you hold the bead parallel to the nail and you will not file off the hole right in the apex area. And another thing we need to do is slightly fix it along the cuticle and the sidewalls. Sometimes you do not have to file it at all if you fit everything perfectly. but usually I still do it, just to be sure that everything is smooth. And if the product squeezed out a little bit on the top of the nail, it's usually not a problem. It's super easy to fix it and file it off. But if the product went under the cuticle, then you will be in trouble because it's so painful to file it all off. Then I'm shaping the nail, and it is extremely hard to stay in the frame because, like I said, my left hand just doesn't want to file it all properly. And the last step will be buffing the cuticle. I will take the soft diamond bead with red abrasive mark and simply buff the cuticle. So I like working with dual forms because basically I do not have to do the manicures. They all fall off after the filing, and I like those nails matte already. It looks pretty cute, but still let's seal it with a top coat so we will see how it looks when it's all beautiful and shiny. So when sealing your dual forms nail, make sure that you will not mess up this perfect surface they already have. Cure for 1 minute and we are done here. This is how this nail looks like, and this is how the whole set looks. I totally love the color. It's like light pink, peachy pink, and working with dual forms on your right hand is the perfect solution because basically you did application with your dominant right hand, so you need to do only the filing, the prep, and a little bit of fitting the dual form with your opposite hand. Now let me know which technology do you usually use to do your opposite hand. Please share in the comments, I would love to read that. Thank you so much for watching. If you're first time here on my channel, consider subscribing as I post new tutorials just like this one every week. And I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!